Okay, so this is geometry again still, and this time we're looking at shapes that are proportional, and we're going to be finding missing lengths using the area. So we've done this before. We just did it a little bit on the page before, so hopefully we'll be able to figure this out again. And this is consider this kind of some practice for you guys. So we're just going to do a few of these, and I'm going to have you guys do a few of them as well so that you can kind of get the hang of this. Okay, so we're going to start with number one. We need to find the area of the shaded shape. So we're going to start by figuring out what our missing sides are for this. So we know that 15 inches, we need to multiply this 15 times something to get 225. So in this case, I'm just going to do a straight division. I'm going to divide 225 by 15 and figure out what my missing side is right here. Okay, so 225 divided by 15. That's what I'm going to do. So using my calculator, because I don't know it, I'm guessing that I should know it though. It sounds like a number I should know. Yeah, it is actually a square number. It is 15 times itself. So this is 15. All right, so, so look at that. All right, so what that tells me is that this is a perfect square. And if this is a perfect square, then so is this, which means that if it's 15 by 15, it's going to be 4 by 4 over here. So our area is going to be 4 times 4, or, yep, 16. So the area is going to equal length times width, which is 4 times 4, which happens to be 16. Sorry, my camera keeps zooming in and out like that. Square inches. I'm reaching around my computer, so of course that's why my handwriting is off to the side sometimes, trying to make it nice, but I just can't quite figure out how to make this work exactly like I want it to from home. So let's do the best we can. A little improvising goes a long way. Okay, so here we have 9 square feet, and this is 4.5 feet here. And we need to figure out what this one is. So that means we need to figure out what this one is right here. So again, we're going to do our 9 divided by 4.5. So we'll say 9 divided by 4 5/10 equals, I bet I know what that one is. And I bet you guys will know what that is too once you take a look at it. 4 5/10. 4 5/10 twice is 9, so this is 2. So that means our missing side here is 2. Okay, so now we're ready to figure out what our missing side is over here. We just need the side length, not the area. So whereas here they wanted the area, here they just want the missing side length. So we're going to say then, what we know is that 4 5/10 is to our unknown x, because it's the same side as 2 is to 9. Okay, so we are going to, you can do it any way you want. Let's just do 2x over here equals, what is 4 5/10 times 9? So let's do that. We have 4 5/10 times 9 equals 40. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, I got to do this right. Yeah, no, I did that right. Okay. Sorry. 4 5/10 times 9 is 40. Just doubting myself a little bit there. So now we just need to know 2 times what is 40. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. That canceled out that one. And what we have is x is equal to, that does not look like an x, does it? Now I'm just watching myself right through the video screen, which is really weird. Okay, 40 divided by 2, 20. So that means this side up here is 20 feet. It's measured in feet, so here we are in feet, okay? All right, so we have find the area, find the missing side length. Okay, so I'm going to do a triangle for you. And I'll do number 5. Then you guys can do 3, 4, and 6, okay? All right, number 5. So remember, we have the base. To find the area, it's 1/2 of the base times the height. So what we're looking for is the height. So we're missing that here to make an ant trail. So we don't know what this is. And once we figure out that, then we can figure out how to solve for this one. So here, what we need to know is our formula. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this sideways a little bit. So our formula again is area equals 1/2 of the base times the height. We have the area, so we're going to say that 60 is equal to 1/2 of the base, which is 10, times the height. So 60 equals 1/2 of 10. 1/2 of 10 is 5. So 5 times the height. So now what we need to do is figure out what would we multiply times 5 to get 60. So we can divide both sides by 5, and even though we don't have much space here, I'm going to do it on this anyway. Divide by 5 here, divide by 5 here, and that gets rid of, that cancels out that 5. So our height is going to be equal to, what do you guys know? I bet you know this. 60 divided by 5 is, you should know it, maybe a little rusty. All right, so height is 12. 60 divided by 5 is 12. Okay, so this is 12. All right, which means now we have our 12 here, and we have all the numbers that we need to set up our ratio so that we can figure out what the height is here, so then we can go ahead and solve for the area of this shape. All right, so again, we're going to do our proportions. So we're going to say 10 is to 4 as 12 is to x, because we're looking for this right here. I'm going to call that x, all right? So 10x equals 6 times 4. 6 times 4, 12 times 4. Sorry, guys. 12 times 4. Like, where'd she get 6 from? Who knows? Okay. 48 is our answer here. So in order to figure out what we're multiplying times 10 to get 48, we've got to do some division. So we're going to divide both sides by 10. And that means that, all right, that looks strange, huh? Okay, I'm just going to draw a little box around this so we don't get it confused. That gets rid of the 10 there. So x is equal to 48 divided by 10 is 4 8/10. 4 8/10. Okay, so that is our height right there. So now we just need to figure out what the area is. So the area is going to be 1/2 of the base times the height. So our base is 4, and our height is 4 8/10. So 1/2 of 4, 2. So 2 times 4 8/10 is what we're looking at here. All right. So if you do the math, you get 9 6/10 square inches. Area is always measured in square inches. And so that is our area of this particular triangle. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. All right. So that is it. All right, so you guys are going to do 3, 4, and 6 on your own. Don't forget to use what we've already done in some of the previous problems to help you solve this. Go back and look at what we did, especially when we're looking at triangles. So remember, you can follow this formula right here. Area is going to be half the base times the height. So you know the base and you've got your area. So plug that in over here. So you're going to say 120 equals half of 10 times something. You're really going to follow this almost exactly, except instead of 60, you're going to write 120. And then you'll figure out what your height is. Then you're ready to do your proportions, and then you're ready to solve for area. You can do it. All right, see you guys later.